There are two important inputs in the production of lattes: coffee beans and labor from workers at the coffee shop. Workers need to make a decision about how much time to spend working and how much time to spend doing other things. What factors affect the decision of a worker on choosing work versus leisure, and how do these things affect the price of lattes? Well, the three factors that are affecting the availability of labor for the production process are the amount of money being offered for the job, the time it takes to complete the job, and the wages that are offered in any other available job. Also, if your free time is worth more than what your job is going to pay you, then you will more than likely decide not to work. This is because the higher the value of your free time is, the scarcer your free time becomes. Let's say that the wages offered at the coffee shop increases, then the workers are more willing to work. Therefore, the cost of production will be higher, so the price of the lattes will increase, because the coffee shop owner will have to pay more money to make the lattes. Also, if the time taken in production is more than the man hours spent making the lattes, then the cost of production will increase. For instance, if the time taken in production is more than 4 human hours and labor is charged at $10 per hour, then the money spent is $40. This proves that the cost of production is affected by the time taken in production. That's why the price of lattes depends on the price of coffee beans and the price of labor. Now let's take a look at this graph. The increasing marginal returns means that at the beginning it's worth more to work because there's an excess of free time, so the employers paying the employees would need less money to motivate them to work. After a while, the relationship starts to decrease to the point that it wouldn't be worth to employ that person because there's so very little free time they'll have that for the employer to make them work 1 extra hour and be worth it, the employer would have to increase their wage. Overall, the marginal revenue product of labor affects the wage. In other words, the employer has to decide if he'll take responsibility of the increase in expense by taking home less money, or will the consumers have to pay more money for the lattes? Suppose a drought strikes the major coffee growing regions of Brazil. Describe the effect of the drought on the price and quantity of lattes in relation to consumer elasticity of demand response. The severe weather causes the amount of coffee beans to decrease. The less amount of coffee beans the company can get means the less amount of lattes the coffee shop can produce and sell. This causes the company to make less money, which leads to less amount of workers the company can pay for. Therefore, the price of lattes increases. Since it's a scarcity of lattes, the product is more appreciated since the amount decreases. Now, consider the local coffee market more broadly. Explain how the operational decisions made by a particular coffee shop will differ under each of the 4 market structures: competition, monopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition. A perfect competition is a type of market structure in which a large number of firms all produce the same product. So there are many sellers, there are identical products, there is no price control, and it is easy to enter into the market. An example of a perfect competition would be agriculture. So if the price of lattes increases, then the demand will significantly decrease since there are many people selling the same exact latte at the same exact price. A monopolistic competition is a type of market structure in which many companies sell products that are similar. They have many sellers, they have some variety of goods, they have little price control, and there's low or few barriers to enter into the market. An example would be fast food restaurants. So if the price of lattes increase, then the demand would decently decrease because the other firms all sell similar lattes such as vanilla or pumpkin. They're both lattes, they just have different flavors. An oligopoly is a type of market structure in which a few larger firms dominate the market. There are a few dominant sellers, some variety of goods, some price control, and there are high barriers to enter into the market. An example would be car brands. If the price of lattes increase, then the demand will slightly increase because there will only be a small amount of other coffee shops. A monopoly is a type of market structure that is dominated by a single seller. So there's only one seller, there are no variety of goods, the firm has complete and total control over the price, and there are complete barriers to enter into the market. If the price of lattes increased, then the demand would greatly increase because there are no other coffee shops or close substitutes.